Happy Monday. Venus, the planet of beauty and love, is coming home. Venus leaves Aries, where it was in its detriment, and enters the sign of Taurus, where it is in its domicile. What does that mean? Venus rules the sign of Taurus. So Venus is in its happy place. It could really express itself and do its thing. Yes. This is a much welcome change after being in Aries and just so much intensity. Feeling the vibes the heaviest are my fixed signs. It's my Taurus, of course, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. What are the vibes of Venus and Taurus? Comfort, luxury, finding the beauty in life, sensuality, taking time to smell the roses, literally, enjoying ourselves and treating ourselves in some small way. It doesn't have to be a big production, but a cupcake or some fresh cut flowers could really hit the spot. Tuesday, April 30th, Mars, the planet of action, enters its home sign of Aries. Goodbye, dreamy Pisces. Hello, active Aries. It's go time. I cannot wait. Mars in Aries is at home, just like Venus and Taurus. So we will have two planets in their domicile really doing their thing. While Mars in Pisces was more of a dance than a duel, Mars in Aries is ready for war. Feeling the vibes the heaviest are my cardinal signs. That's my Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. What are the vibes of Mars in Aries? Motivation, drive, determination to get things done. Mars in Aries was born ready. We're tapping to our bold and brave energy. The battery is at our back. It's go time. On May 2nd, Pluto, the planet of transformation, stations retrograde. We know the retrograde vibes. Review, reflect, the planetary energy is turned inward. We're revisiting, we're reconsidering. We're not really moving forward. We're kind of like pondering. Our relationship with Pluto themes like power, control, fears, and obsessions could all come up. Have we been giving our power away? Do we need to reclaim it? Does something or someone have power over us, like a bad habit or a toxic partner? It could be an addiction. Feeling the vibes the heaviest are my fixed signs. It's my Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and my late degree cardinal signs. Okay, if you're like late degree, that means the end of the sign. Because Pluto will exit Aquarius and re-enter Capricorn, but we've got some months before that happens. This is a period where we review the structures in our lives and figure out if they're empowering us or keeping us weak. Maybe something we're clinging so tightly to is not what's best for us on a soul level. Two things I do want you to keep in mind is that today, Mars in Pisces connects with dreamy Neptune. This is kind of like a nice transit, but it's a little lazy. This is the day before it enters Aries, so we might be a little delulu and not inspired to really take action. It's more a time of listening to our intuition. It's more a yin energy than a yang. It's more passive than receptive. I honestly did not feel like getting out of bed this morning. We may be unclear about what actions we want to take and how to go about taking them. Then on May 1st, Venus in Taurus will square Pluto in Aquarius. Venus is love, Pluto is power, Venus is money, Pluto is wealth. There could be some issues that arise because the square is attention. Think squaring up for a fight in our relationships and even our finances. So power battles and partnerships are possible. There could be obsession and manipulation. Really what it comes down to is you wanting to be loved. But we cannot force someone to love us. So if you start feeling like you're trying to dominate someone, especially a romantic partner, ease up, let it go. Love is not possessive. Also, don't stalk your ex. They're getting uglier because they did you dirty, okay? Please. What about money? Are you too obsessed with money to the point where you're willing to do some less than savory things to get it? All money ain't good money. How you make your money is far more important than how much you have, okay? How about that? Your ruling planet Mars is bringing you a boost of energy and determination when it comes to your sign. You feel like you're ready to take on the world. Make sure to rest because you're more prone to crash out right now with all that Martian energy putting the battery in your back. You're likely to go, go, go. Remember go, go, go. That was random. Okay. You're likely to go, go, go until you burn out. Communication is coming in crystal clear now with Mercury direct in your sign, Rams. We know you don't like to repeat yourself and you shouldn't have to anymore. Any stalled projects gain momentum. Let's go. Venus and Taurus could bring a financial blessing or an opportunity to make more money. I like it. Maybe there's a surprise source of income that shows up for you. You could have your next big money-making idea around this time, so pay attention. Pluto retrograde may have you rethinking your aspirations and even the people that you spend the most time around. It's okay to switch up your circles and your goals. Any manipulative motives in your friendship could be clearer now. Aries weekly mantra: to recharge my energy, I'll embrace rest and relaxation. Taurus, Venus, your ruler, moves into your sign bulls, and it's time to treat yourself. If you've been contemplating a makeover or a new haircut, some new fits, then go for it. You could be tempted to stock up on expensive skincare at Sephora, but before you go tapping that Apple Pay, make sure you don't go overboard on the spa treatments. If you're a baller on the budget, gang, grab a face mask from Target and pamper yourself at home. Light a pink candle and pick up some rose quartz crystals to show yourself some love. This is a period where you feel called to surround yourself with beauty. So much is going on in the world. If you are ready to protest, but you can't go on the front lines, you can let art be your activism. Old feelings may emerge as Mars enters Aries in your house of secrets. It's a good time to spend some time reflecting and introspecting. With Pluto retrograde, review your career goals. Are you just chasing power, or do you really align with your profession on a soul level? Taurus weekly mantra: my self-care is a priority in my life. Gemini, you may feel like keeping your love life on the low right now with Venus traveling through your house of secrets. A relationship is probably best if it remains private. Just make sure your lover isn't hiding you from the world because you're a sneaky link. That's the worst. You're always on the go, doing something, having a new experience, but relax and recharge before your birthday season. And maybe that means loving up on yourself. When was the last time you just chilled out and gave your body a break? Took a day or at least a couple of hours to just be and just breathe. Schedule some me time. Vegging out or having a lazy day is probably just what you need. Mars is calling you to hang out with your homies, but this may also bring some drama into your life, so watch your friends' energy. Jupiter enters your sign soon, and you're going to feel ready to take on the world. Jupiter grows whatever it touches, so check in with your mental state to make sure it's growing optimism and high vibes and not negativity. Pluto retrograde may bring a test of faith. Do you believe? Have you lost faith, twin? Twin, where have you been? Gemini weekly mantra: I will allow myself to rest when my body needs it. Cancer, you've been laser focused on your career goals and you're doing amazing, sweetie. Maybe Mercury retrograde slowed things down a bit, but Mars in Aries is bringing the focus and possibly a little pressure to your professional life. Don't work so hard that you burn yourself out. You deserve rest. And what if you realize that sometimes it's about who you know and not how hard you work? Give yourself a break. Venus in Taurus could bring an opportunity for you to move closer towards your goals, and that arrives by way of your network. Maybe a friend or a mentor, or somebody introduces you to someone. Who doesn't love a hookup? I do. This may be a period of time where you feel more philanthropic. You might want to volunteer at Meals on Wheels. Make it a group effort. Rally the troops. If you're open to romance, then maybe a friend introduces you to a potential love interest. If you've decentered romantic love from your life, then it's time to make some new friends. Pluto retrograde is asking you to check in with old fears and trauma. It's a great time to release toxic habits and relationships. Cancer weekly mantra: I'm a magnet for positive partnerships and collaborations. Leo, it's time to switch up your views either by traveling or learning something new. Your mind is busy daydreaming of all the trips you want to take. You could find it hard to keep your head in the game when it comes to your daily routines. If you feel a little restless, switch things up. Maybe have a skip day. That sounds fun. It's harder to do the same old when Mars activates your house of travel. Venus in Taurus could bring you some professional boosts. You are likely to be perceived well by higher ups during this time. So if you've been thinking of asking for a raise, then go for it. This can also be a time where you meet a mentor or a power player that's helpful in your career journey. Pluto retrograde could force you to look at your relationships for real. Maybe that bond you're clinging so tightly to is actually unhealthy and a little toxic. Or it could be your behavior that needs to transform. Are you too controlling and trying to dominate your partner? Leo weekly mantra: I am open-minded and always eager to explore new avenues to success. I love that for you, Leo. Virgo, maybe your soulmate is overseas, Virgo. Venus is moving through your house of travel and you could feel called to book a trip. Book that international flight. If you can't leave the country right now, it's a great time to plan an excursion for the future. Your beliefs may be changing, and this could come by meeting a person from a foreign land or culture from you. Somebody who puts you onto something new, some different beliefs and values. This person doesn't have to be a new boo. It could be a mentor or a teacher that is helping you to open up to new ideas, to expand your mind. Mars is in Aries and it's pushing you to grow and change. If you've been holding on to some fears, you have the courage to face them now. Maybe your relationship is not accepting of your beliefs and views. Either agree to disagree with this person, or you may have to cut a player from the roster. Let that person go. Pluto retrograde wants you to look at your day-to-day routines. Is your schedule giving you time to rest and de-stress? Are you being too helpful to others? Maybe your job has you in a rut. Virgo weekly mantra. I let go of any negative mindsets and behaviors that are preventing my growth. Libra, it's time to fight. I'm kidding. But you won't be willing to keep the peace as Mars, the planet of war, moves through your house of partnerships. Sometimes conflict cannot be avoided no matter how hard you try. You got to go to war to know peace. If you've got a habitual line stepper / disrespecter, then you need to stand up for yourself. I know you don't like to tussle, I do, but you likely won't be able to ignore conflict anymore. On a brighter note, maybe a little money comes to you by way of someone else. I love that. When Venus enters your house of other people's money, a loan could be paid back or a debt is settled. Maybe a partner gives you some funds, sprinkle, sprinkle. You could also be called to take a relationship to a deeper level. Pluto retrograde wants you to check in with your passions. Do they still bring you joy? Are you going through the motions in your romantic partnerships? Is it time for new hobbies and new activities and new connections that truly make you happy? Libra weekly mantra. There's no fear. I don't need to sweep this under the rug. Start a fight, Libra. Scorpio, it's time to buy your boo some flowers and schedule a date night, something real romantic. If you're single and you're interested in meeting someone, then put yourself out there. Venus is transiting your house of partnerships. The suitors will be knocking down your door. If you're single and thinking of settling down and making a commitment, it's a good time to lock somebody down. Mars in Aries is pushing you to change your daily habits. This may mean working out and getting ripped in the gym. Exercise is a great way to improve your physical and mental health. Release all that rage in the weight room. Speaking of rage, there could be some drama on the job. Maybe you get into it with a coworker. Before you start planning revenge on your fellow employee, maybe a talk can smooth things over. Pluto, your ruling planet, is retrograde and it's bringing up some old family beefs and pain. Ultimately, you can't control your family. How can you keep the peace while respecting everyone's personal power? Scorpio weekly mantra. I am only in control of my own energy. Sagittarius, you feel like getting organized, Saggies. You're ready to do some spring cleaning and toss out those items you're no longer using. Decluttering can boost your mental health, so clear out that clutter. Venus in Taurus has you falling in love with routines again. Now, at first, the schedule sounds boring and blah, but planning your day will bring you peace of mind. A coworker might shoot their shot, but maybe it's best not to you-know-what where you eat, so think twice before you begin an office romance. You're feeling more expressive with Mars and Aries moving through your house of creativity. It's a great time to start a creative project or take up a new hobby at the very least. So get in the booth and record the mixtape. You also are feeling a little flirty. If someone asks you out, go on a fun activity date like a rug making class. Pluto retrograde is asking you to review your communication. Are you trying to force your thoughts and ideas onto others? Yes. Maybe your approach is a little too extreme. Check in with your tone and attitude. Sagittarius weekly mantra. I love being in an organized environment. Same. Capricorn, are you ready to come out of your cocoon, Cappies? You're always working, but it's time to have some fun. Why? Venus is in your house of pleasure. What makes you happy? Have you forgotten? Maybe you need to bring back an old hobby from childhood. Life can feel so heavy. How can you find the joy and lightness? Knitting sounds awesome and very Saturnian. I need to knit. Or maybe you go to Home Depot and finally start that garden. Immersing your hands in soil is actually calming for your nervous system. I love that. You're going to need the chill vibes because your home life is heating up with Mars in your house of home and family. Mars brings attention to this area of your life, but it also could bring some arguments. It's time to clean house. Clear the air so your family can move forward as a united front. On a brighter note, it's a good time for home repairs, so get out that DIY YouTube video. Pluto retrograde wants you to reflect on your finances. Are you too obsessed with making money? Do you have fears around your finances, a scarcity mentality? Time to revisit that and let it go. Capricorn weekly mantra: I make space for joy in my life. Aquarius, you're thinking of a master plan. You're ready to move on new ideas and maybe even start a podcast or a Substack, at least, maybe a YouTube. Your mind is very active. Even for you Aquas, as passionate, Mars moves through your house of communication. Mars gives you the energy to just do it. But remember, you can do everything, just not all at once. So take a moment to consider the level of commitment, the brain power required before you agree to do something. This will help to prevent mental overload. Home is where the heart is, why Venus moves through Taurus and your house of home and family. Family quality time is more important now than ever, and you're likely to stay in and cuddle with your loved ones. Have a game night. If your living space needs a facelift, then add some beauty to your home, maybe some new pillows or artwork. It could be a game changer. Pluto retrograde has you reflecting on your identity, your attitude, and even your appearance. How do you want to show up in the world? It's a good time to plan the rebrand. Think about it. Aquarius weekly mantra: fresh ideas are constantly flowing to me. Pisces, you're money motivated now, Pisces. Mars is transiting Aries in your second house of money, and it's time to get money, essentially. You may take on a new project or even a side hustle to bring in some extra income. Security is your top priority during this time. You could be itching to tap that Apple Pay everywhere you go, but watch yourself because you're likely to burn through money, literally burn, baby, burn. You could feel strongly about your values and what you value, but you don't need to argue to prove your beliefs are valid. You know they are. If your brother or sister has been giving you the cold shoulder, sibling relationships should improve as Venus travels through Taurus and your house of siblings, okay? It's your house of communication too. You're more diplomatic and ready to keep the peace. I like that. You likely feel like hanging out with your besties and being more social, so get outside. A weekend getaway might come in clutch right now. That sounds amazing. Pluto hits rewind in your house of secrets. It's time to look inward to see what hurt you've been holding on to from the past and past relationships. Pisces weekly mantra: I am responsible and wise with my finances. And so it is. Have a good week, everybody.